Hey folks, you know what this means? It's CGC unboxing time. New box. Let's see what we get. We have a unlimited value book in here. Hopefully the value is unlimited. It'll probably be limited, but let's hope it's less limited than it could be. Let's take a look and talk about the character in the book up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hello, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. And before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe. Check the description of this video for all that good stuff, eBay store and email and Instagram and whatnot and all that fun stuff. So I got back today, just picked it up today, a new slab. If you've been watching the channel, I had submitted 126 books to CGC just a little while ago. I'm looking for my box cutter so I can cut open the box. And I got the first one back. The others are 5 groups of 25. This was the high value book. I had this at, I valued it $2,000, maybe a little bit over what well, let's hope the grade is what it is. So we'll take a look at the book. It's new, a new smaller box from CGC. It seems like, you know, if I just grab a random slab, it's not much bigger than a slab. This is not the book that I got. This is some other book I got in my collection. It's a pretty cool Silver Surfer cover. I think that's Alice Ross. Anyway, it doesn't matter what that is. It matters what this is. So this seems like a smaller box for a single book. And I think they've changed the bubble wrap inside. No, it's still the same bubble wrap. So I don't know the grade of this book. So we're going to do the grade reveal thing. It's got the rubber band around the 2 pieces of cardboard here. It's in the plastic bag. So it's been a while since I did a CGC unboxing. And what? What the flip? What? 7.5 conserved? How did this get a conserved grade? That's ridiculous. Cover cleaned? How? What the? This was... I don't know what's going on here. This I thought this was like an 8.5. And it looks like they put like more spine ticks in the book than it had when they put it in the case. This is ridiculous. The cover was not cleaned on this. I cleaned it. I dry cleaned the book. There is absolutely no way. And I don't even think it's a 7.5. This is ridiculous. Oh my God. I don't know what they did. And the other thing too is, look, like it's been shoved in there and they've created more spine ticks on the book. This, I'm going to have to resubmit this. God damn it. This is so ridiculous. I thought this was an 8.85. Okay, I could accept a 7.5 maybe. I'm going to look at the grader's notes on this. And, yeah, there's no way I bought this as part of that large collection that you saw, right? This was an original owner collection. I am dumbfounded at this. Absolutely dumbfounded that this came back a cover cleaned. I've only had one conserved book ever, and that was because Jerry the Jitterbug conserved it for me. It was a Fantastic Four #5. First Doctor Doom, right? Oh. This is... I dry cleaned this book. I did not... I cleaned and pressed it like I normally would. This was not... I'm I'm stunned, to say the least. Where's, what the? Now my computer's acting up on me. So I want to look at the grader notes, CGC verification. I'm going to have, and it cost me $100 to get the book graded. That doesn't matter. Resources, CGC certification. I mean, the only thing, listen, yes, I'm pretty sure that this book was the original owner. Cover loose. I've never seen that grader note before. Crease center of back cover. There was a crease like here. Okay. Tear left center back cover. There was a small, I think right there, there's a small tear. Okay. Cover cleaned. Was not cleaned. This is insanity. Oh. You know, like a 7.5 of this book is like about a $1,500 book. I'm not sure what a conserved is. I guess we'd have to look at Go Collect. I am, oh my God. There, I'm telling you that I don't know. Conserved. Yeah, there's no, I can't even, there's only 29 conserved on the census. I'm not even gonna, and Lord, I don't understand. In a 7.5, there are 4 conserved that came out conserved. I'm an 8.5 sold for $2,200 in a conserved blue label, but there is no way that this book is conserved. I didn't even think it was a 7.5. I mean, I think it's simply that it looks too white. It's got white pages. I think just it looks too white. I mean, in terms of comparison, it got white pages. I mean, the cover is white. It was a nice book. It was, you know, sitting in the collection since 1974. I'm completely astonished by this. Completely astonished. And now I'm a little bit afraid. It says cover loose. Now there was, what you can see some staple tearing down there. That was there already. You know, that's, I'm trying to think of the notes that I had. Slight crease back cover. Maybe they probably took off most of that. A few spine ticks, small tear back cover, small tear which they missed above the P and group, soft bottom right corner, soft bottom spine. Okay? I'm telling you guys, this book, it was dry cleaned. There was no, this was not wet cleaned. It was not, you know, blue lighted. It was not any of that stuff. This was just dry cleaned, erased on the back. I mean, I didn't overdo it, certainly. I'm completely astonished by this grade. And I'm honestly, I'm not in the mood to do much more about this book. Let me know what you think. I think I'm just going to have to crack this out and submit it again, because I might just put this in a regular vintage submission and let them upcharge me if they're going to. Because no way was this, this book has not been cleaned. Maybe I'll have to get in touch with CGC. Because I bought the collection. The collection through the antique store was from the original owner. I don't think this guy cleaned his books. You know, this book had been sitting there with all the other ASM books from his childhood, probably when he was like in junior high school. And then I pulled it out and cleaned and pressed it. Cleaned, dry, not wet cleaned. So, yeah, this is unbelievable to me. Okay, folks, we're going to do a little bit of a postscript here that I have a chance to calm down and become a little more dispassionate about this. So, I reflected on the book, and I called a few people. I called Judd 360 Comics, I called Streetside Anthony, called my LCS, who I submit the books through, and I spoke with Erod, and to see if he's had any experience. He hasn't, but he knows people that had that. And, we're going through, and there's absolutely, positively zero chance that this book was cleaned other than being dry cleaned. Because when I got the book, it had dirt on it. Your basic 1974 white cover, a book that had been, stored however it was stored. But I think there were two things. So the bottom line is, this is going to be cracked out and resubmitted. And I'm pretty confident on a resubmission that it's not going to get any lower than a 7.5. I'll just do a little quick press on it. Erod suggested, he asked, did you use any water on it? I did not. I used humidity, and I used humidity and attack iron on certain areas of the book, but I don't see it through the slab, certainly, and I don't recall any loss of gloss on the book. So I'm going to have to take a closer look at that, and he asked if I buffed it. You basically use a cotton round or a makeup pad, and you just kind of go in circular motion to buff the book and kind of even out the gloss. It doesn't really return gloss, but sometimes you might. I think what it was an overzealous grader, because there was zero chance that this book was clean. This was an original owner collection. Like I said, if you've watched the previous videos, you saw me go through this collection. There were books, Batman, Detective Comics, Brave and the Bold, Amazing Spider-Man, Daredevil from this era, right? And they were an original owner collection. There was dirt on the back, so it was never cleaned, period, until I got my hands on it. And, I don't think I did anything overzealous on the book. I'll take a closer look, but there was. So I know it wasn't wet cleaned before I got a hold of it, and I certainly didn't wet clean it. So I think it was an overreach by CGC on the the conservation piece. And going by the grader's notes when they mentioned cover loose, right? Perhaps, and let me know what you think in the comments. Like I said, I've showed this earlier. There is tearing by the bottom staple. That was just the defect the book had. And in addition, it's the staples don't completely line up on the book. It's not a terrible wrap. It's a pretty decent wrap. You don't get a lot of white on the front, but at any rate, I think two things, right? They saw that loose bottom staple and maybe used that as part of the evidence to say, oh, it looks like maybe the cover was removed and replaced. That did not happen. And I think even though there was wear on the book, a little crease here, a little softness there, a little tearing by the staple, because the owner had it in his collection as a kid. And, read the book as a kid. The entire collection was preserved very well. The books from the 80s are all bone white. There's no evidence of any tanning, any foxing on the books that I've looked at so far. They're all a lot of 9/8 contenders, maybe a book here and there that got a little mangled, that, might have picked up a spine tick or two. But all in all, even with no backer boards, the books were all very well preserved. So they were kept in very good atmospheric conditions, humidity, temperature. It wasn't like in a hot attic. It wasn't in a damp basement that would have potentially caused some sort of change to the paper. And the other thing too was the grading from CGC gave the book white pages, so the entire thing was white. So I think it was just an overreach on the part of a grader. And maybe when you submit a book like this, especially a 50-year-old book that, I mean, when I got the book, other than the dirt that I cleaned up, it looked very white. I mean, that's one of the things that jumps out at you when you look at the back cover. It looks white, and it kind of impresses you when you're looking at the grade, when you know that the book has been just sitting in a collection for 50 years. So I think the natural whiteness that the book had, with the loose staple, may have been enough. So maybe there's a 5% chance, maybe even less, 5% chance it's going to get a conserved grade. I'm pretty confident that if I resubmit the book, it's not going to get a conserved grade. And hopefully, fingers crossed, that if the grader's a little overzealous on the conservation aspect, then they might have been a little overzealous on the grading as a whole, and maybe we can get a little bump from a 7.5. So I'm going to give it a quick press. I got to be careful because of that bottom staple, which I was throughout the process of working on the book. And I'm going to take a look, under light for the gloss of the book. But this is industry standard. This is what folks do with books. And I think, I was talking with Street Side Anthony. He says, yeah, I think that because other grading of other collectibles like cards, coins, they don't want you to clean coins. They don't want you to press cards, sports cards, and what have you. That is, but in comics, it's industry standard. And if CGC were to theoretically not accept that anymore, like dry cleaning and what have you, as something that is recognized and allowable, they're going to cost themselves business, right? How many people you see take 9.4s, 9.6s, crack them out, try to get 9.8s because they work on them. And a lot of folks will say, listen, this is the book in the condition that it's in. If I can't work on it, I'm not gonna get it graded. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm almost certain I'm gonna just resubmit this book and probably just put it in a vintage order. So the funny thing is, when you deal with CGC, there's good news and there's bad news. This is the first time that we put the order on my credit card. So I saw all the charges that came in for this book, for two other, a vintage and a modern order, and then they haven't yet charged me for the pre-screens because they got to wait to see how many books make the grade. But I did get a random charge for $146.25, and I was going through the numbers trying. I go, is that the shipping on the 3 pre-screens? No, they wouldn't do the shipping separately. I was going back and forth, and I said, hey, let me take a look. What it means is, from what I can, the way the numbers make sense after a dealer discount, is it means that 2 books were upgraded to unlimited value, and 1 book was upgraded to high value. So maybe my modern order did very well. Let's just say that. Hopefully, fingers crossed. An upcharge is always good news. And so, anyway, that's it for this video. You can take a look at a couple of my other videos here, including taking that ASM 129 out of the collection. And this is Jim saying, until next time, enjoy your comics.